Right. I think that's it for today's episode, unless anybody else has anything they want to add. Or
I do say if you had Bigfoot in there for mayor, he would have fixed it.
All right. So Dan, you want to start us off and roll out?
Of course. I want to thank you for joining us today. And again, thank you for the support. You are amazing, every single one of you. So with that being said, Aaron and Anna, you want to roll us out?
Oh yeah. It's okay to be out of this world with your thoughts.
Because you are not alone.
Okay, welcome to bonus content.
This is a bonus episode.
This is gonna
be the first bonus episode.
This is the first bonus content. I was gonna do.
People are paying their hard-earned money for this.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're in This is like behind the actor's studio.
Yep.
You know, it's like it's like DVD commentary.
Yeah, I'm James Lipton. And
so we're gonna play old episodes and then comment on them. We're gonna play old episodes in their entirety, and then me and you are gonna comment.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So that'll be 5 people talking.
Oh, there we go.
And 2 of them are the same people twice.
Yeah, and Stav, the ghost of Stav.
Stav's not here, so bonus means less. It's actually the Latin word for less than,
and worse.
Yeah. It's, bone. It comes from. Bonus means penis in Latin.
It does.
It's a hard
true.
penis.
Yeah.
And as we know, men are the the rapist sex of the two. They oppress women and keep them down. You know what I was thinking about, and you'll disagree with this, but if
I'm open to hearty debate.
Okay. Well, I feel like if there really was like a huge conspiracy to keep women down, because sometimes it seems like that. Like that's the criticism, not that things are just better for men, but there's like an active collusion. Like why wouldn't we just imprison and rape all of them? I mean, we could do it. There's enough of us that we could do it. Like if we really wanted to have a patriarchy, we could make that happen pretty easily.
Wait, that's the evidence that you have, is that they're not imprisoned and being raped?
Yeah, where's my sex slave?
Well, first of all, in a lot of places in the world, they are imprisoned and raped. So yeah, you're wrong there. Second of all, I don't know.
Not here.
I think that's
not my apartment.
No, well,
where it matters. But this is kind of good shit you're gonna get out of the fucking bonus content, dude. I don't have to worry about some dumb bitch listening to this.
Yep, because they get paid less money, so they can't afford
it.
The $5.
It also costs more for them to make up for how much I had to pay to get into the Cinderblock Comedy Festival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the all women's.
Yeah,
comedy
well, it's
festival
where they make white men pay more.
Wait, I thought that it was just women. No?
Ow. The cat just bit me.
Yeah.
It's they let white men do it, but they're trying to have like a diverse showcase.
So white men have to pay more?
So white men had to pay more to submit. And then, you know what's funny? Like, all these women were like, fuck yeah, like, making them pay more. And it's like, well, you're still paying, so you're being exploited. I think we talked about it, probably on another.
We
never talked. Okay, so if you don't know, there's this festival, and I'm glad I can talk shit about it, because none of them will pay for the, again, bonus content. Bonus content. We gotta get a cool, you know what's funny? The Anthony Cumia Studios guys, like, approached me for real about putting Cumtown on the Anthony Cumia network.
Well, only if they get office space at the top of the Empire State
Yeah,
Building.
I already told them. We're already at the better studio. The real Anthony Cumia studio with the Puerto Rican rattlesnake as your producer. But, yeah, so these girls started a comedy festival called the Cinderblock Comedy Festival, and they were taking submissions, which is already fucked up. Like, it's fucked up to charge comedians to perform at the festival.
Comedy festivals in general are a racket.
It's this broken business model that they all started fucking doing, and then every new festival that pops up, they justify charging comedians to submit by saying, like, well, you know, look who did it prior. Like, Bridgetown makes $1,000 a year off submissions alone, and then they don't pay anybody.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and then they don't pay anybody, and then they have sponsors, and then it's like, oh, well, we break even. It's like, how do you break even? By, you know, paying yourselves to do the work for a couple weeks
after our $50,000 salary.
Yeah, right. There's no way to justify it.
It's
like, you know, you couldn't, if you opened a restaurant, you could not pay any of your employees and then say, like, well, we still just broke even. It's like, no, that's a shitty business.
No, it's for the networking. That's what it's for, Nick. You gotta go there and be like, Nick Mullen, New York City Comedy, how you doing?
Yeah.
It's like a trade convention. That's what comedy festivals are.
So these whores, they started their own festival, see? And, yeah, they started their own festival, and then to, like, you know, as a fuck you to the wage gap, they were charging white men $25 to submit, and women only 19 something, whatever is 73% of 25 is.
Ooh.
But you're still just charging women. So you have like a fucking diversity festival, and then you set it up so, like, hey, we're going to discourage white men from applying, so we're only going to be exploiting women and minorities. And it's stupid. It's like, and if you tried to argue with them about it, they would be like, oh, white male tears, and then they post that fucking, you know, all their white male tears memes.
Who runs it?
This girl, Corey Spencer, I guess. But anyhow, Lewis got into it with them over that thing, and then so Lewis just started his own festival. Where he didn't charge anyone to submit. Yeah. And he like put together in like 2 months and paid all the comedians just to prove that you could do it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, it's impossible. How are we supposed to, you know, like put all this together? Websites cost money. It's like, okay, well, comedy costs money. You can't find a web designer to make your website for free for exposure.
Oh, in New York, it's impossible.
Yeah. So, yeah, they took all this fucking money, and I guess that festival's happening in like 2 weeks, so we'll see if...
the Cinderblock?
Yeah, we'll see if it's a complete failure. Fingers crossed.
Well, I'm going to be outside protesting. That's what I'm going to be doing.
I'm going to be raping. I'm going to rape even twice as much as I normally do to make up for it. Guys, we have maybe a slight technical issue. I can't remember whether I fucking erased the last show off the SD card or not.
So we might not even be recording?
No, we're recording, but it might just cut off at any minute. But here's the thing. We don't have Stav here, so we don't have to worry about it.
Because his laughs require more memory.
Well, he's so fat that he takes up more space on the SD card.
The memory card.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that about fat people, but any kind of technology that is like, they need heavy-duty keyboards because of their fucking huge fingers.
They need bigger hard drives for their computers.
Yeah,
because they're for the fat.
Yeah, it also keeps the crumbs out. He can't help himself but eat at the fucking computer. And it'll be weird to see if we can fill an hour without Stav just calling someone a gay bitch and then laughing for 5 minutes.
Really? I think that's about 35% of our content as it stands.
I want to take an episode and just edit it down to Stav's laughter. And
just a supercut of Stav laughing?
Yeah.
That'd be so funny. Like an hour supercut?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
And see how long it goes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great. I think it's like makes the show a lot better.
It makes it easier to do. Certainly.
For me.
It makes you feel funnier.
For sure.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't laugh for anyone.
Right, I don't either. People have accused me of being, retarded or autistic.
No. I watched, speaking of Inside the Actors Studio, Dave Chappelle said he never laughs. So,
yeah.
So we're cool.
So I'm like Dave Chappelle.
We're basically Dave Chappelle.
Very similar to Dave Chappelle. You know what? I did, I had a callback for a commercial audition this week. And so, you go to a commercial callback and everyone looks like you. You're going for the same role. So that's really all it is. It's like you have the same look as somebody.
Yeah.
And guess who I saw at the callback for the role that I was going, which was just like some bullshit, like an energy company. For the same role as me, Aaron, the UCB rapist.
No.
Yeah, he was there. He's like checking in and stuff. And
how's he doing?
Well, he came up. He was like, he saw me. He's like, "How's it going?" I was like, "Probably better than it is for you." And he's like, "No, I'm doing okay, actually." I was like, "Are you?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then I don't know. He mentioned some legal stuff that's going on. And I don't know if I can.
Probably should.
Yeah, he already has a lawyer, so people know that he's like, I guess, suing them. Yeah, right. He's guilty. Yeah.
He got a lawyer, so that means he's guilty.
Well, check this out. He got Atticus Finch. Have you heard of this guy?
Oh, no.
Great.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Is he the guy that rhymes all the...
Yeah.
That's the best thing about Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
Is that he was singing rhymes.
Yeah.
And so he got people off because of like cool.
If the dick's too small, you can't enclose him in walls.
Yeah,
you can't put him in jail.
That convinced me.
If the pussy ain't toe up, then my man, you can't stow up. You gotta let him go.
Yeah. Something like that.
It is called the Johnny Cochran, aka the whoever smelt it dealt it principle of jurisprudence.
I think they teach that class in law school.
Yeah, at Harvard Law.
Yeah.
The whoever smelt it dealt it, and if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. But yeah, no, I saw Aaron the rapist there. And then it was a bummer about. I thought I was booked to do Star Wars related stand-up.
Oh, this is really embarrassing, Nick.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't think it's embarrassing. Well, here's the story is I get a message.
Well, it's not embarrassing. It's just really like I can imagine how you're feeling right now. I would feel like crap.
I mean, I didn't want to do it. It would have just been bizarre.
It would have been so funny.
It would have been so much money.
Is it still the same amount of money?
No, it's for some fucking guy's birthday. Anyhow, somebody messages me and they say, and they're like, and it's somebody I trust. They're like, we need somebody to do 15 minutes of Star Wars material at Anna Wintour's birthday party.
For a lot of cumboys who probably don't know who that is.
The editor-in-chief of Vogue. She's the mean bitch from Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
So that character is entirely based on Anna Wintour.
Right.
And
she always wears sunglasses.
Yeah, and I was like, why the fuck? I mean, yes, of course I'll do it. And I'm like, I don't even have... The guy who hit me up, he was like, oh, I just heard you mention Star Wars on your podcast, so I figured I'd recommend you.
Did we mention Star Wars?
Yeah, I said something about the new one,
Chinese.
The Chinese new one.
That was very funny, actually, now that I remember.
Well, I was trying to riff stuff out, and I started doing Black Comic talking about C-3PO.
Oh, yeah.
Which, that might even be too racist for bonus content, but that's,
Oh, yeah.
Black Comic is the best.
Of course. I was personally raised as a kid on Comic View and Def Comedy Jam. Yeah. That was the first stand-up I was into.
That's the thing you're kind of spoiled by in DC is there's so many good, like, black comics.
Where is that scene in New York?
I don't know. Probably in the Bronx.
We used to, like, come into contact with, like, the urban scene all the time in DC.
The urban scene's great. Because it's, like... They're the funniest fucking people in the world.
Oh, hilarious.
But there's nothing marketable about that. There's no way. Dude, that fucking Lawrence Owens bit about the glasses. Have you seen it? He's like, I can't be no thug because I got an astigmatism. You can't be no thug with no big ass glasses. And then he's just crossing his eyes. And he's like, where's the M word I'm supposed to murder? And he's like getting up close to the mic stand and staring at it with his eyes crossed. He's like, this him right here. It's the funniest shit, dude.
First of all, astigmatism does not mean you're cross-eyed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Second of all, that's incredible.
Yeah, he had like the best act outs and shit. Lawrence was always hilarious.
Well, that's the thing is like I feel like in urban comedy, people are performing,
Right.
And like white boy comic book comedy that like we come into contact with.
You're supposed to act like a bitch.
You just stand there, you hold the mic stand. Personally, I don't know what to do
notes on stage
with my hands when I'm on stage.
In urban comedy, not only like First of all, if your suit has less than 9 buttons on it, you're already unprofessional.
Of course.
Can you imagine if you brought your notes on stage?
No.
How fucking unprofessional that is.
Oh, no way.
I want to blend both the worlds and get like a purple American Apparel hoodie that's way too big and has 19 buttons on it. I'm going to be the black hipster comedian.
The black comic book.
Yeah.
What's up, nerds?
Yeah. Woo! Y'all like Batman? Let me get a motherfucking... what does Batman say?
That dude, Alex.
That'd be a great,
Alex Starr.
Yeah, that'd be a great character, like the urban comic that's trying to rejuvenate his career, so he becomes like a meltdown guy.
A nerd comic.
yeah. Woo! You know I can't get no damn dates. You know I can. Pizza for breakfast? What is adulthood? Somebody tell me what adulthood is.
So I just joined Tinder.
Yeah, I'm on Tinder now. Look, I like comic books. I'll admit it. I like comic books. The whole crowd.
So sue me.
What's going on with you?
Nothing much.
All right, so
I got a cold from like a group sex experience. My immune system's literally too Jewish to like. There's too many orifices.
It's always a humble brag. Every time any kind of thing, it's like, oh, I hurt my dick fucking 9 people at once.
Yeah, I guess it's a humble brag.
That is a humble brag.
Well,
in a roundabout way.
Let me tell you something. You know, so a dream of mine my entire life is, 2 girls fooling around.
2 girls at the same time. Office Space. 1999, a classic.
Yeah.
Please don't look up what your Office Space
I never want that ever again.
What, a group sex thing?
Mm-mm.
Was it bad? Was one of the girls Brandon Mordell?
No. Neither of the girls were Brandon, but it was just too much anxiety. I felt like if I was paying too much attention to one person, I wouldn't.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was one that I was clearly more attracted to than the other, and I didn't want the other one to know that I was more attracted to the one, so then I'd like, if I was paying too much attention, like have to go back and forth to the others.
Yeah, that's the thing that you have to worry about in a situation. Like if you're dating somebody and they're like, oh, we should...
Let's bring someone in.
Right. Just like, absolutely not. Then no matter
you
what,
said
you're
no.
gonna be
I've always tried. Whenever I've had a girlfriend. Yeah.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't do it. It's just you're gonna get yourself in trouble no matter what you do. You can't. I mean, there's no way it's not gonna turn out to be a problem.
Just the second your dick goes in.
Yeah. Excuse me. Like, all right, never mind. This was your idea.
It was literally your idea.
It's like the same thing, like when you make a decision about which restaurant you want to go to, and then it's my fault that they don't have the shit you want on the menu.
Oh, of course.
It's like that. It's entirely that situation. So
here's the other thing.
Yeah.
I feel like on the podcast, I tend to say things like that more than you and Stav. Because you have a girl. True. And Stav, I don't know.
Stav's too fat to fuck.
He's too fat. No, that's...
I love when people, like...
I literally talked about getting ganked by a sex slave.
Well, people... Yeah.
Like, on the podcast.
People give, like, feedback about the show, and sometimes they say, I can't tell who's who.
Really?
And, yeah, and I'll be like, oh, Stav's the fat one. Yeah, he's the one that you can hear.
Can you hear?
Can you hear that?
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. That's the best part about having a fat friend is you get to make fun of him. You know?
I guess.
That's why you should.
I don't make fun of him for being fat, though.
Well, not to his face.
We do to his face all the time.
I guess. But he gives, it's a give and take. I think that's fine. So we were prepared for this. We were a little bit worried that it would be kind of a struggle to fill.
Are we gonna?
Yeah. So we have We have leftover blow from last weekend, which I just wouldn't say outright if this were a regular episode, but it's a bonus episode.
Could the police like find out about this?
No, dude, they're not allowed to donate to things.
If we talk about
the number one rule of police work is you're never allowed to donate to charity or help anybody. You only kill. You're born to kill.
So I guess we had leftover drugs from a couple weeks ago, and I brought it. And I said maybe we could do it on the podcast. My inspiration was the only known recording session of John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Was they recorded this album?
Wait, what do you mean the only known recording? What about all of the Beatles?
Post-Beatles, sorry. Post-Beatles was in, I think, 1974. They recorded an album called A Toot and a Snore? Toot and a Laugh? A Toot and something. And it was them. Basically, John Lennon moved to LA, broke up with Yoko, got a different Chinese girlfriend, got addicted to coke, only wore white. And Paul McCartney came out, and they got studio space. It was them, Stevie Wonder, and Harry Nilsson. And you can actively hear them doing cocaine on the recording. There's like a part where John Lennon offers Stevie Wonder coke.
So it's like they invented like the weed toke on the track.
Exactly. That's an homage. That's an homage. Every time we rip huge bangers, smoke huge spliffs on the pod, we're doing that for the Beatles. But yeah, there's a part where he's like, "Hey Stevie, you want a toot?" And he like offers a blow. Oh, and the music, by the way, is terrible.
Yeah,
It's
I would imagine it would be.
Just like this podcast is about to be.
Right. And you know that what's the like? I don't know if it's like a Doors. I don't know that much about the Doors, but there's like something that's not on a Doors album, and it's just Jim Morrison yelling, "You got a fuck her in the ass," and it's like a song that he recorded.
No.
yeah.
That's
Jim
not
Morrison
real.
song. No, it's real, dude. Where it's just like, "You got a fuck her in the ass."
Oh my god, my favorite poet.
I mean, the Doors music is already so fucking stupid to begin with.
Felix retweeted this thing. Did you see it? It was like 3 photographs. The first is like, this is a drawing made by Jim Morrison when he was like in middle school or something, and then it's a picture of the drawing, and then there's a quote on the drawing. Oh man, I should have like had it prepared what it was, but it is so funny.
Well,
okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's not the way to do that. Well, just explain it. You don't have to show
it. Is it's a picture of like a scary monster man with a spear, and then the sentence is, "It only hurts when I laugh."
No, that's cool, dude. He could have been like a Hot Topic buyer.
Oh yeah, he would have been so Hot Topic if he was like born.
No, he could have worked at Hot Topic corporate. I used to live with a guy that did that.
That like bought the shirts.
Dude, he worked his way up from Hot Topic, just regular retail employee, and he was so Hot Topic that they moved him to Los Angeles and made him like a buyer for the brand. And when I met this guy, he had the best style in the world because he would dress like the Joker, but only from the waist up. So
you just wear like jeans?
Well, yeah, from waist down it was like Kirkland brand jeans and then like store brand hiking shoes. And then, waist up, he would have like a vest, like a purple vest with a green tie and then a red bowler hat. But yeah, he was a Hot Topic buyer.
So what time is it right now?
We are at 22 minutes. So that was
what time is it in the afternoon?
7:35 p.m.
Okay, so it's 7:35 p.m. We're gonna do these drugs. It's far too early to do drugs, I think.
Well, I can't stay up that long. I got shit to do tomorrow. So we're gonna take a break and then we'll be back, and you know what we're doing. So see you in a second. So you got Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds, and those are just 3 of the baseball players that I can name in succession.
That's what I would say.
I know. Welcome back, guys. So we're good. We're good to go.
We're good.
We're ready to have any.
I feel good.
I feel okay. Any. Really, nothing's changed.
Yeah, it really hasn't hit us yet. We're kind of playing.
Yeah, we thought it'd be funny to like riff it out, and then I started with a thing, and then it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it didn't really go.
Adam just did yes weld me instead of a yes and. You did yes well. You go. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. How about
I had to judge one of those roast battles at the stand.
You did this week, right?
Yeah, I did this week. Evan Williams.
Was he good?
Yeah. Evan and Christy Cello were both like really fucking good.
He's so funny.
Yeah, they both did real well. The lead-in like matchups were kind of like Andrew Collins and Lawrence something. They did all right, but Lawrence was like getting in Andrew's face, which like would have worked if it had been, I think, two black guys, but it just kind of read weird, and then it was mostly white people in the audience, so they didn't understand his aggression, and it was just like his rhetorical style.
I feel like Andrew's more of like a story guy.
Well, Andrew's a better joke writer.
Yeah.
I mean, Lawrence didn't really prepare with jokes. He was just like, I'm gonna fuck your grandma, yeah.
All right,
like that
first
kind of
round,
shit.
let's go.
Yeah, and then like it was two other guys that had kind of okay jokes about each other, like two open micers, and then this guy and this girl who were both like new, because the guy I've never seen at all. I mean, I'm sure he's like new to town, and this girl Andrea, who I've seen like one time at Caroline's, who's like obviously just new to comedy or whatever, which is fine. It's whatever. But at one point, she said something to him, and his rebuttal was, well, I could say the same thing about you, which in the context of a roast battle is so fucking funny. And he just did it out of like being defensive or whatever. Yeah. Like if that had been his strategy the entire time, like anytime she said something and be like, well, I know you are, but what am I? I would have fucking voted for him.
They get mad if anyone like
fucks around with the format.
All comedies it.
Yeah, because me and Stav are like gonna compliment each other, but I know Stav has been writing for that shit for fucking days.
He was fronting like, I just came up with jokes before. He had them all like memorized.
No, I legitimately sat down for like
sip of that water.
Yeah, I legitimately sat down for like 4 hours and like wrote probably 20 jokes for that Stav roast battle beforehand. But I know Stav fucking prepared. He's not a guy. He doesn't not prepare.
4 hours and 20 jokes sounds like preparing.
He works hard. For a real big fat guy, he definitely works hard. That's the thing. You think fat people are
really hard.
You think they're lazy, but he's obviously not lazy because he worked at that shitty website for so long. That would kill me.
Oh, ground.
Yeah,
comedy.
to be working in that place and having to
laugh at bad jokes.
Yeah, right. Laugh at bad jokes. I mean, he does it with us all the time, which is great. But
yeah. Well, that's why he's our friend.
Yeah, I know. But no, I mean, he's our friend because he's funny, and he's funnier than anybody else at that company, I'd say.
Ground floor comedy.
Yeah. At that thing.
You mean child porn times?
Yeah. Child porn, extreme internet. That was the name of the place. Yeah. So, if you're just joining us, if you're just tuning in somehow, if you'd like to, download. I like to download a podcast and then just get started right about 3/4 of the way through. That's my move. I like to think that, I'm like just flipping channels and I've come across it. Who knows?
Unless you're listening to WTF with Mark Maron, you're not skipping the beginning of a podcast.
Right. I had an idea. I was saying my dream. My dream, it'll never happen, but I really want, if I could sell a show, I want to have a show on IFC called Mark, where I don't ever say I'm Mark Maron, but I just act like him, and it airs for 5 minutes right before his show, and it's the same format and everything,
Yeah.
Where I'm like, what is this fucking bookstore? Who goes to this fucking place? Well, I guess I'm here, but I'm a fucking piece of shit, so it's just a piece of shit store, and then it's like, coming up next, Maron on IFC, and
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Stretched over 22.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hear it's a good show, actually.
From who? From Mark?
From Mark Maron.
Yeah.
One of something I did a couple weeks ago was I woke up way too early to check my phone habitually and didn't go back to sleep because I read for like 2 hours from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Mark Maron arguing with Trump people on Twitter, and it is
Fuck off, troll.
Shut up, troll.
You fucking idiot, troll.
I'm 55 years old, troll.
Yeah. Speaking of Mark Maron, so for the bonus thing, I wanted to just do, give Dickfield his own spin-off podcast. I haven't figured out how Dickfield comes back into existence yet. We were toying around with the idea of a portal opening to another dimension.
the dimension where he didn't die at Auschwitz.
Well, you ever see the TV show Sliders?
Yeah.
So, essentially, another universe version of Seth, and then that opens up the possibility of like infinite Seths.
Oh yeah.
It's my favorite novel, Infinite Seths.
Infinite Seth.
Yeah.
By David Foster Wallace.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a cool punny kind of.
Hey, we gotta be on, dude. We gotta be on. We're 5 minutes in. We got another 4.5 hours to go.
Woo! We're gonna have to call the guy, dude.
Which guy?
The drugs man.
Oh, the drugs man.
No. So, it's so funny when you do this drug.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the point of drugs, right? Like after you're like 15 years old is to do them and act like you're not on them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like if you ever smoke weed with a noob and they're like, "Oh, I am so baked," you're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. You're supposed to act like you're not high on weed." But this one for me is like the one where I extra try.
Well, that's because it costs so much fucking money that you never want to feel like you got ripped off. It'd be like, if you bought like, there's people out there driving like a fucking, like a Hyundai. Well, Hyundais aren't bad. Like they're driving a really piece of shit car that they spent a lot of money on. They're like, I
Right.
love it. I love this car. This car's great. It's on fire. The children are dead in the back seat. They're like, this is the best car I've ever seen. I love it. It's great. And it's the same thing with this shit. I just spent $100.
Yeah, it's really,
I make $9.75 an hour, so this is the best drug I've ever had.
you gotta keep doing it.
Yeah.
And the best line or bump or whatever is
Mhm.
the first one of the night.
Yeah.
And then you drop off. You get
Mhm.
energy. You drop off. You do enough to actually get to that same point.
I love the night always ends
4
the same
a.m.
exact way with me in complete darkness, chewing a hole through my lip and playing Candy Crush, and thinking about all the people I shouldn't have emailed.
Do you send emails?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I draft. There's a lot of shit that ends up in the draft folder, and the next day it's like, thank God.
One time I did cocaine with Englishman Chris Milner.
Yeah.
And it was the night Muhammad Ali died.
Oh, you told me the story. This is great.
We were doing lines and he emailed his dad because his dad loved Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
He wrote this really beautiful, heartfelt email. And it was just so funny. It's just like crushing emails, like doing rails, crushing emails.
Yo, you know what I'm really good at email? When I'm fucking lit, dude. When I hit the slopes, send some emails. So I was on this job with, remember that guy Ed that we don't like?
Oh, which guy?
The guy we worked with, Ed.
Oh, the like camera guy?
Yeah.
Oh, he was back?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he sucked.
Yeah.
So
someone married him? He's married?
He's married, I guess. But so I was bitching about him with this other guy we know, and he was like, nobody likes him. Nobody likes this guy, and he does the most obnoxious shit I've ever seen in my entire life. But he was complaining about something on the call sheet, and he was sending the complaints to, the guy we know. And the way he was sending the complaints was with memes. He had a meme generator on his phone.
Horrible.
And he's
horrible.
So it's like he's showing me. Here, I'll just show you the fucking text messages. You say something for 2 seconds.
What?
Talk about Syria.
Syria. Someone I saw Randy Quaid. You know that guy?
Yeah.
He posted a picture that.
Look, okay. Forget about Randy Quaid. Look at the text.
Sorry, yeah.
Look how obnoxious that is.
Wait, first of all, this is the guy from Futurama doing the like squinty sarcastic.
Yeah. It's Fry. It's the Fry meme.
Yeah,
the Fry.
Yeah. Not sure if an early call time helps me get out sooner tomorrow or screws me over with turnaround.
Yeah, and look at.
Not sure if we're rapping at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m.
Yeah, imagine having to deal with that all day long from that guy.
Are you fucking
having a coworker that will only communicate with you through memes?
He's the worst person in the world.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
That's egregious.
Yeah. So. Should we talk about what Aleppo is for our Gary Johnson? I feel like everybody who listens to this is voting for Gary Johnson.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like we definitely have some libertarian.
Yeah.
What's a libtard? Like, what's their retard term?
What, libertarian?
Libtard is liberal.
Libertarian?
Libertarian is libertarian. It's a good one. Yeah.
Libertarian sounds like a zodiac sign.
Libertarian sounds like a.
Well, my star sign is Libertarian, but I was born in rising Cancer, so
it sounds like a planet that they.
I'm very aggressive, but I'm also passionate. I love how like all the horoscopes are like, well, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm actually the smartest person in the world, but I can also be emotional. It means to like people just fall in love with me, but I'm also a genius. That's what Sagittarius is.
Dude, I really could not give two shits about that, but if you're trying to get laid in New York City, you just have to listen to hours of nonsense about the zodiac.
I don't think I ever have.
What's your rising sign?
Yeah.
Just please suck my dick. Please shut up.
Do people actually talk about? I don't think that's.
Girls love it, dude.
I think that's like a weird thing that Rob Reiner invented for his movies. Is that women like? That seems
Rob Reiner?
I feel like, you know, all the stereotypes about relationships he came up with and created them through his films.
What, Spinal Tap?
No. When Harry Met Sally.
Direct Spinal Tap or Rob Reiner?
I don't know. Fucking know. I think maybe Christopher Guest did. Or maybe because that was the first movie with that whole ensemble cast. Yeah, so maybe it was Rob Reiner. But like, you know, like the When Harry Met Sally scene. Yeah. When they're like, women don't fake orgasms, and she's like, women fake orgasms all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people don't actually have that conversation.
That conversation?
Yeah, I don't think people
have that conversation all the time.
Also, I love that then she proceeds to do the fakest orgasm anyone has ever heard.
Right. We're joking around about like how if she was just like, fuck my ass.
Yeah, fuck my ass.
Fuck my ass.
Figure my fucking ass, my filthy ass.
My pussy's so wet.
Yeah. Just in Katz's Deli.
I was at Katz's and my friend, I was eating there and my friend said, look up, and there's a sign right above me, and they were like, this is where Meg Ryan faked an orgasm. There's like a sign hanging above one of the chairs. I sat in the fake orgasm chair, so pretty cool.
So it's like you fucked Meg Ryan.
Yeah, basically.
Have you seen how bad she looks now?
She looks bad.
She's gotten so much plastic surgery.
Ugh.
You know how like when those women that are just like they get so much plastic surgery that you see them and they're like, I'm finished. And they've just gotten all of it. Ding. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Pretty much, dude. Because they all look the same. They all look like that bear cat. They have that big puffy cat face, but there's also
puffy, because the collagen,
like a Care Bear element to it.
Yeah, it's sort of froggy too. They kind of look like Pepe a little bit, like brown, like burnt Pepe.
Yeah, they should get whiskers.
Pepes.
They should get whiskers to go with the face.
Oh, like Mr. Mistopheles,
yeah, right.
Play cats. Man, do you do you like musicals?
You know, I say I don't because you're not supposed to, but
you're a man's man.
Right.
Yeah.
But anytime I've actually been at a musical, I really enjoy it.
Me too.
My grandma's birthday 2 years ago, my grandma or my grandfather and my mom took my grandma and me to go see The Fantastics. That sounds like a made up like fucking fake musical.
That was like a Pixar movie, wasn't it?
No, is it The Fantastic? I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a Pixar movie. It was a musical. I know I'm not confusing the two. It was live. It was like a live performance thing. I don't even remember what the fucking story was, but I enjoyed it. It was great.
I think it's pretty cool sometimes.
Yeah. I wish if I had enough money, I would definitely go see plays.
Oh, me too.
I went to see the James Franco of Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men?
Yeah, Chris O'Dowd and James Franco.
On off Broadway or whatever?
Yeah, either on or off Broadway.
Whatever.
It was near Broadway.
Broadway adjacent.
Broadway adjacent.
Yeah.
What if, how far off Broadway do you have to be before it's off Broadway?
Off Broadway.
Yeah.
Secaucus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Morton Downey Jr.
Slush
show. The Morton Downey Jr. show could
Was an
technically be.
Off-Broadway production.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like art house.
God, I wish he was alive.
Yeah, he's so great.
Yeah.
When I was doing that,
He's Trump before Trump, right?
of course.
Yeah.
When I was doing
the president.
when I was doing that Nicole shit, part of the canon was that Nicole's retarded son was actually fathered by Morton Downey Jr. She snuck and then I did the math on it, and she would have had to have fucked him like right before he died. So
Right.
she snuck into a hospital.
You saw the documentary, right?
Yeah.
So they had like.
The guy that directed that documentary, the guy that fucking put the whole thing
Yeah.
together, he like follows and unfollows people on Twitter until you follow him.
Really?
He's followed and unfollowed
He's
me like
annoying?
3 times, yeah.
You didn't follow him back?
Well, initially I did, then I saw how many people like he followed, and I was like, oh, he's
He's
I
a
don't know.
whore.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Yeah.
So they had like, so remember how they go into like who his fan bases were? So it was like parents from the Midwest visiting New York.
Yeah.
That, like agreed with his like populist policies.
Uh-huh.
Right. Jersey trash.
Right.
And then the third were like Jewish high school boys.
Yeah.
That are like got the irony.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, we're like, this is actually very funny.
Yeah.
And there was like a crew of them in the documentary, and one of them was the cook at my camp. And I had like no idea, but he was one of the Morton Downey Jr. heads. He was like there with all his friends, and I guess they're all still best friends.
That's crazy.
I mean, it sounds like the best high school experience. Like,
speaking of cooks,
yeah.
somebody who like listens to the podcast hit me up, and they were
Right.
like,